Good afternoon. It is December 17th, 2021. And before I get started, I guess I'll just say that next week I'll probably make a video if there's volume on any of those days. But if the volume is like, if it's in a small range and there's, 25 bars, I'm not going to be making videos. Also, if I do make a video, it's going to be at random times. So I do the videos for myself. So if you are waiting for them and they get uploaded at 8 p.m., sorry about that. But I guess today could really be characterized as a range. But we had this strong downward move in the morning and then towards the open, and then we see this very strong bounce after that. But then we have a strong sell-off again, and then it has upward movement and now downward movement. So really just a range. So we broke down into this range, and we're making higher lows, but the bias was definitely down because of the strong downward trend. And I marked this one because it looked like a very bearish move back into congestion, but this is tough because it looks like there's now a level of support like right I guess this looked different on the MES. So I think this is okay. You barely escape with a scalp right here. So you got to be really careful trading these ranges, man. It kind of does look like you might be going into this level, but that's higher. I don't know. It's just, this is tough. I looked at it as a lower high at the top of congestion, but this isn't clear enough, so maybe I shouldn't have marked that. But then we get this nice leg down and get like a double or triple test down here, and you get a first entry, second entry short with a super bearish bar. There's room to the lows to scalp out, so I like that. But then we start moving up, and it's just clearly this is the range. But then when we get this lower high, I mean, the bias is down. It closes beneath the EMA. Yeah, that's going into the midline, but we have room to these lows, and I think that looks pretty good. And that if you entered that, that gets you a huge move. Unfortunately, I was gonna enter that on the MES, but I was like helping my wife, and that would have gotten me like at least like a 7-point runner on the MES, but it's okay. So we break down into this congestion. I don't see any way to enter this. We go a little further down, and then we bounce and come back to the top of this channel. I'm trying to think of, so really you wouldn't have known that this was the channel. You might have it based off these midlines, so you can't really enter there. And we come down, and this is congestive again, and we've been seeing a lot of this past couple of days. The trends haven't really been clean. You have a first entry, second entry short right here. It's also a second entry, failed second entry long, but this is just so congestive. I don't like that. I like this one better. First failed second entry long. We're making lower lows, lower highs. I like that one a little better. I don't know why I marked it red. I would definitely mark that green. Just not a whole lot. We make this double bottom right here and just bounce. And first entry failed second entry right here. They trap some longs who are going long too early. Brings it back down a little bit for 2 legs of correction, and then it just explodes. I don't see any way to get in on this. First entry, second entry. Is that a new high? I think that's a new high. So you might, yeah, this is a new high right here. But if I was watching this, that's so close to the trend channel, you might go long right there. I was just nervous about going right into the opening price. If you don't go long here, you got a failed second entry short right here. You got to take one of these two. You got to take, I would say, mark that. And this one's off the trend line. And all the rest of this is just too far from the EMA. So we break down into this congestion, but really the bias is probably up, or at least I would think so. And when we break out, you know, you want to wait on the high or low, and you get that right here. So they definitely trap some shorts right here, and you can see that rocket up. Unfortunately, this bar doesn't click. We don't know what's happening yet. This was good enough for a scalp, but after these 2-3 bars, you don't know what's happening. Then it rockets up, and we get this downward channel right here. And this was really tempting, and I was about to take this on the simulator, but I was at work, and someone asked me to do something, and sure enough, that would have gotten you like at least an 18-point runner, but you might manage it all the way down to here and get like a 30-point runner. That's a failed second entry long. You make this new high, first entry, second entry long. It's also a second entry short. Only reason I'm marking it green is because the bias is up, and that's tough to see. But we did get a break of this steep yellow channel right here and a move to a new high. So, you know, there are reasons to take that trade. It closes beneath the EMA. All this is too far from the EMA. You can see it's bouncing off the midline. We form this congestion. We get the first break of this downward channel, and you get a first, second entry short. And then a counter trend breakout with a nice setup. That's actually a second entry short. I really like that. That's green, but you could probably argue for that being red right there. And this lower high, I mean, you know, often it's like walking on a tightrope. You know, when you go out one way, you're going to go out the other way, and that's what we see here. So these lower highs and this failed second entry long, they're tempting, but it's just right into the midline, right in congestion. That's tough. But then when we go out with the trend, and then we get this leg of correction, that's telling you something. We already made a new low from this channel, and you got to measure that move. And you get this leg up, first, second entry, that's good enough for a scalp. And then we come here, first failed second entry short, boom. I'd be a little timid here because you're going into the highs, but this sets up so perfectly. That gets you a really nice move. And we make this correction, and really we just start chopping around in here. I was thinking, I had this drawn originally like this, and I think that's probably the better way to look at it. So, why did I mark this one? Not too sure why I marked this one. I don't see anything in here that I like. I like this one. This is a higher low only because this is a potential trend line, and that's a second entry long. So that's why I like that one. But that trend channel hasn't been confirmed. We like it because we have two touches off the midline right here, but still not enough evidence. But that is a second entry long, so I do like that. We come up here, first, second entry long. I like that after these big legs up. Only thing is we just hit that measure move, so there might be a lot of sellers. But this closes right above the EMA. First, failed second entry short right here. Just with how strong it was moving up, you might take that, but that's a little, I don't really like when it's far from the EMA like that. It's also going into the highs. But we form this congestion, and this is a second entry long. So you might take that. I don't think you can take this failure. We've just been trending up too much, but there are signs that we're going lower because we didn't make it to the top of this channel. You can see, and that's what prices were trying to do. And so it rockets down. We form this level of support here. I like this higher low. Bounces off this previous trend channel, and it kind of looks like a failed second entry short, though it's not. You might take this one on a double test, but I'm not going to mark it. First entry, second entry long. I don't know why I marked that. Sorry, I was just liberally marking this stuff. We start to form this downward channel. That's actually a second entry short right there. I do like this actually, because you can see this level of resistance up here. That's a second entry short, or it looks like a second entry short. It's technically a first, second, third, fourth entry. But I like it because it's like we haven't hit this level of support, and we just came off this level of resistance, so we're probably trying to make it down there. And you can see we hit that level of support, bounce, and they trap all these guys here. Then we bounce. That's like a failed breakout of congestion right here. Bullish bar. You might take that. And this is a first, second entry short. And at this point, it feels like, you know, we're not going any higher. So that's why I marked that one. And unfortunately, I don't think you can enter on this, but you might in a hyper aggressive move. That does confirm the channel, and it looks like we have an overshoot of this upward correction. So there are reasons you might consider that, but I don't see how you could take that according to the rules. And that's all I saw for today. Oh, I just moved that, but we don't really need that. Let's delete that. Let's take a look at the trades I took. Oh, so I must have accidentally taken this without my... Yeah, I took this trade without my... Unfortunately, without my ATM strategy turned on, so I just got out of it. Lost one tick, but that would have worked. I traded that on the MES and got out by the hairs on my chin. Alright, so we come here, second entry short. Glad, you know, that's a good trade. And then I took this lower high, which is super aggressive, but it worked out. But that's a little too aggressive. I wish I didn't take that one. So, oh, I took one more. Okay, this second entry long, I'm okay with this, especially after this leg up. First entry, second entry, that's a good trade. So overall, good day today. Hope you guys all had a good day and a good week, and I'll be back next week.